Oh God. All right. So look, last game for Liverpool. Of course, we know they smashed Bournemouth 9-0. For Newcastle, a 1-1 draw against Wolves. Last minute settings. Alain Sit Maxima to the max. The last meeting between Newcastle and Liverpool ended in a 1-0 win for Liverpool. Liverpool actually did the double over Newcastle last season, and Liverpool have not lost a single game against Newcastle in their last 10 outings. Not one loss, okay? I had to take my time and just breathe and just get it out slowly, just so that the overzealous Newcastle fans knows what's going on, because there's been a newfound sense of entitlement amongst the Newcastle fans. The new Newcastle fans, the new money coming into the club, being the richest club on God's creation. The last time they defeated Liverpool, you got to date all the way back to 2015, a 2-0 win at St. James's Park. And they did pull off a 1-0 win there as well. But the wins against Liverpool have been few and far between, right? So it's gonna be an uphill struggle in this game for Newcastle. I'm predicting. This is not my prediction, but I'm just saying, right? So Eddie Howe coming up against Jurgen Klopp for the 13th time. And just like his record against Pep is awful, the same goes for his record against both Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. 1 win and a draw against Klopp, and that was when he was in charge of Bournemouth, of course. And in 15 matches against Liverpool, 13 losses, 1 win and 1 draw. Klopp against Eddie Howe, 12 matches, 10 wins, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. Pardon me. And against Newcastle, it's a little indifferent. 4 draws in there, 7 wins, and a solitary loss. So all-time Premier League results, 54 matches, 31 wins for Liverpool, 11 wins for Newcastle, and 12 matches have ended in draws. Guys, let's talk a little bit of transfer updates for both clubs here. For Liverpool, Sepp Vandenberg is set to sign for Schalke on loan. And all the best to the young Dutchman, because he's definitely not making a cut at Liverpool. And I have a question for you guys. Would Liverpool sign anyone else before the transfer window closes? There's been talks that Liverpool could be looking for a new midfielder. But I've been saying lately, right, when you look around the Liverpool midfield, they do have Fabinho, Thiago, Milner, Keita, Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Bobby Clark, and Fabio Carvalho. You do a count, and that's 10 midfielders. They don't need no more midfielders. 10. But if they are to sign a midfielder, they need to sign someone creative. Maybe look at Lazio for like a Luis Alberto. I think he used to play for Liverpool before. A Sergei Milinkovic-Savic. They'll have to fork up some big money. But they need someone with some creativity, right? But let's say Liverpool doesn't want to go that route. I think they have the answer at the club already. And the answer is this man right here. This is the answer for all your problems. Fabio motherfucking Carvalho. Pardon my language, if there's any kids watching or any Christians. Look, anybody religious who don't like cursing. I do curse from time to time, but not too crazy. But look, I had to just exaggerate that one. Maybe the answer is right there in front of your face. And I spoke about that yesterday. I did. All right. Moving on to Newcastle. Martin Dubravka is going to join Man United on loan as a backup goalkeeper. So he's going to go from Newcastle as a backup goalkeeper to United as a backup goalkeeper. Man United is signing anybody these days, it seems, right? And Newcastle are in advanced talks with Timoyu Bakayoko. I don't know how true that one is, but that's a transfer rumor that I run into. Bakayoko back to the Premier League. I think it was at Napoli. I think it was at Monaco again as well. And Chelsea paid big money for him from Monaco. Never worked out. He was part of that graduating class from Monaco that had Bernardo Silva, Kylian Mbappe, You had like guys like who else was there, man? There's a lot of players. I'm running a blank on these players right now. Fabinho as well. Fabinho, Jibril Sidibe. Who else was there, man? A lot of guys, man. A lot of prominent players were there. So look, they're linked to him. Also, Newcastle have been linked with Mexican international Edson Alvarez from Ajax. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. So, for player availability, Liverpool are definitely going through an injury crisis right now with 11 players either suspended, doubtful, or injured. And those players are Diego Jota, Curtis Jones, Quivin Kelleher, Thiago Alcantara, Joel Matip, Ibrahima Konate, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Don't try saying his name very fast. Naby Keita, Calvin Ramsey, their new right back. Harvey Elliott, doubtful, and Darwin Nunez serving the last games of his suspension there. If Harvey Elliott is injured, perfect opportunity to bring in Fabio Carvalho from the start. So for Newcastle, Jonjo Shelvey remains injured until after the World Cup. Callum Wilson would be out of this game as well. Bruno Guimaraes is set to miss this game as well. And another player that could miss this game as well is Alon Saint-Maximin, along with Emil Kraft and Alexander Isak, their new signing. I didn't include him in the update because I updated you guys about him already yesterday. Alexander Isak is still waiting international clearance, right? Remember, it's Brexit and it's not that easy anymore, right? Still easy, but maybe not as easy as before, right? Players to watch in my opinion here. Luis motherfucking Diaz. Gotta exaggerate again. Pardon that I'm dropping the MF bombs in the stream today, but Luis Diaz he has been massive for Liverpool, scoring a brace in the last game, and he's been absolutely devastating down the left wing there, where we would have been seeing Sadio Mane. So he's definitely, I think he replaced Sadio Mane very well. I don't think he was Sadio Mane's replacement, but he's doing a good job over there. So let's keep it real, And to be fair, Liverpool are missing the likes of Jota, you know what I mean? So maybe they're not missing Mane that much. Maybe they are missing him, but they'll get over the Mane thing. They will. And Luis Diaz will definitely help calm some nerves. So in terms of another player to watch, I should say, for Newcastle United, I had to go with Nick Pope here. Mr. Nicholas Pope. Dominic Pope. Had to go with him. He was massive against Manchester City, and he did well against Wolves. He'll need another big performance here against Liverpool if the new Newcastle United are to remain unbeaten in the league with 1 win and 3 draws, right? Pope is going to need a big, and probably a bigger effort than he did against Manchester City. Guys, it gets to the point where I drop my prediction here. Newcastle, in my opinion, really struggled against Wolves in that last game, and they struggled to break Wolves down, and they ended up getting a gift at the end when, of course, Hwang Hee-chan hooked up Saint-Maximin for that worldie of a goal he scored, right? And if you check their form, Newcastle's form, what? Bam bam, 3 draws on the bounce. Not very good. See what I'm saying? It's good, but still not very good. You get the point. Liverpool, on the other hand, in my opinion, look, coming off of this massive 9-0 win against Bournemouth after a dreadful start to the season, that will give them the impetus and the confidence and the morale boost that they need, the self-belief that they need to come up against a very difficult Newcastle team. Liverpool are clicking now. Firmino with those goals, Luis Diaz, Salah, he's been scoring, but he I don't know if he's thinking about the direct deposits. Maybe that's what it is. You know what I mean? When you work a lot of hours during the week and you're expecting a fat check, and that reminds me, I got to check my direct deposit in about an hour. But look, you're expecting a fat check, your mind's on that money. Salah, you getting distracted by that big fat check that you get in these days. Every week, the man's making an astronomical amount of money. You got to tap those easy chances in Salah. So look, Liverpool, I think they're building up a head of steam here. And they're the favorites to go on to win this. Their record against Newcastle speaks volume. And for Newcastle, in my opinion, here, let us just go back to their lineup, their squad, right? They're missing some very key players here. Very, very key players. And I'm not saying players can't come in and do a job, right? But they're missing some freaking key players. And I'm talking about Bruno Guimaraes. You saw how they played? They were very disjointed without him. Alan St. Maximin did a great job, but he won't be. He's a doubt. I think it's listed that he's gonna be fit again sometime in September, maybe a week. Maybe he'll play. Who knows? Maybe he'll feature on the bench, but he's doubtful, and that can be a good thing for Newcastle. Isaac's not ready, so it might be Chris Wood because Callum Wilson is injured. It might be Chris Wool, Chris Wood, Chris Wool, Wood and Wool. But he surely has not been gold at Newcastle so far. Very little amount of goals. Let's check Chris Wood and you'll see his stats. Chris Wood's going to start. He does have 2 goals for Newcastle. 2 goals in 17 matches there last season. And so far, 3 substitutes and a start. No goals yet. Chris Wood, they might need to ship him out, right? Newcastle are not winning the game, in my opinion. And they're not getting anything from this game, in my opinion. I know that might shock some of y'all that I'm predicting Liverpool once again to win another game. And I've done that all season so far. 5 matches, I predicted them to win all 5. They didn't win 3. But I think they'll win this game. 3-0. They're going to come out. They're going to be intense. Klopp's 11 is going to be very, very important. I think Klopp needs to be positive. You need to play Carvalho and not Milner. You see what I'm saying? If Harvey Elliott is not fit, you can't put Milner there and Henderson and Fabinho. That's not a good midfield. You got to throw Fabio Carvalho in the mix. You got to throw him in the mix. You got to be positive. You got to put him in the team. Look at what he did when he came off the bench there against Bournemouth. You got to put him in. You see what I'm saying? And maybe even think about giving Costa Tsimikas a run out for Andy Robertson, who looks winded. Right? He looks very winded. That would be the perfect opportunity for him to come out and play. Firmino should start, Salah, Luis Diaz. So if I have to pick an 11 for Liverpool, Diaz, Firmino, Salah, Carvalho, Henderson, Fabinho. If Elliott is fit, play Elliott and drop Henderson. But they're not going to do that because you need the help in the midfield against the Newcastle midfielders as well. And the defense, Joe Gomez, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Look, Newcastle, I think they're missing the key players. If they are to get something from the match, guys got to step up. Players got to step up. You see what I'm saying? You see Matt Target is back in the team. He might start ahead of Dan Burn or who knows. You may have maybe Botman and Shaw. Burn might start. Who knows? But this defense is going to have a hell of a job against this Liverpool team. Let me just put it out there. Guys like Miguel Almiron is going to need to be very, very clinical when they get their opportunities. Joe Willock got to step his game up. Longstaff got to step his game up. Joel Linton, we know he's going to be tough and robust. He got to at least try to chip in with a goal. They wish they could have had Alexander Isak here. But Liverpool 3, Newcastle 0 to lose their first match this season. And I say that confidently too. I haven't predicted Newcastle to lose games either. I predicted them to lose against Man City, but they won't beat Liverpool. If they do, if they pick up a draw, I'll be happy about that. Let me just put it that way. This is the Man City fan creeping in right now. I'll be happy. I'll be happy though. I'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? I'll be happy. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Liverpool 3, Newcastle 0. And that's final, guys. Please share your prediction in the chat. Do appreciate it. So for Liverpool, this will be a game at Anfield. Of course, they have home advantage. They have 5 points this season. They're ninth, and their next match will be against Everton. They will be at home still, but just across just a stone's throw away. And then they have Napoli in Naples in the middle of the week. Liverpool, you know, usually they Napoli give them a run for their money usually. Then they have Wolves coming up, and then Ajax. So for Newcastle United, who's not doing too bad this season, they're seventh with 6 points so far, unbeaten in the league. Their next game will be against Crystal Palace, followed by a match against West Ham United. And hopefully for them, they would have some European matches sprinkled into their schedule next season.